sport of MMA, there are not many men or women that can claim the elusive title of champ, meaning having conquered two different weight classes at the same time. And that narrow list can further be dwindled down to just one, if you include an Olympic gold medalist. That one fighter being Triple C, Henry Cejudo. Cejudo has a good case of being the greatest combat sports athlete of all time, and as he contemplates his return to the UFC Octagon, let's take a look at his lifestyle and net worth. Number 10. Henry Cejudo's early life. I think what makes Cejudo's story so compelling is that he is the true definition of rags to riches. Born to two undocumented immigrants, Cejudo was constantly on the move as a kid. He was the second youngest of 7 kids, and most of the childbearing responsibility fell on Cejudo's mother, Nelly Rico, as his father, Jorge Cejudo, was addicted to drugs and alcohol and was in and out of prison. It is best if Cejudo describes what it was like living in a small room with 6 other siblings and a single mother. It was a trip because I was so used to having feet on my damn face. It was different. It was just different. I had a sink in there, I had a pillow. I never really got accustomed to pillows until now because we never had pillows. People don't know that other side of the story with me. I was literally a humble kid growing up. One of 7 kids raised by a single mother, an immigrant lady, minimum wage. We're on food stamps, government cheese, and powdered milk, all of that. Cejudo's father would eventually be deported back to Mexico when Henry was just 6 years old, and shortly after that, his mother packed up the family and headed down to Phoenix, Arizona to start a new life there. And it would be in Arizona where Cejudo found his life passion, wrestling. Number 9. Wrestling career. Henry caught the wrestling bug after his older brother Angel Cejudo went undefeated during his college tenure. Henry would go on to be a 4-time AIA state champ in Arizona before moving to Colorado to become a resident athlete in the United States Olympic Training Center. There, he would go on to win the Colorado State Championships. So all in all, Cejudo would win 2 U.S. National Championships, 3 Pan American Championships, 1 Pan American Games, and the Olympic gold medal in the 2008 Beijing Olympics. At the time of the Olympics win, he was just 21 years old, making him the youngest American wrestler to win Olympic gold. So, greatness started early for Cejudo, and he would carry that air of greatness to his next venture, MMA. Number 8. How he started MMA. Wrestlers are some of the most competitive people on the planet. Just because their wrestling career is over doesn't mean their drive for competition and to be great is. Naturally, many wrestlers seek out MMA as wrestling is the best base for success. And it was no different for Cejudo, who announced his desire to compete in MMA in 2013. And in that very same year, Cejudo made his 135-pound MMA debut, winning his first fight in under 90 seconds. Henry would go on to compete 4 more times that year, winning another 3 in the first round, while going to the judges' scorecard in the last one. And the UFC would come calling the very next year, as Cejudo made his UFC debut in December of 2014 and began his legendary UFC run. Number 7. Career achievements. When it comes to career achievements, let's start off with the obvious. There is a reason Cejudo is nicknamed Triple C.
My name is Triple C, Olympic champion, flyweight champion of the world.
And that is because he is one of the rare champs of MMA. He captured the UFC 125-pound belt by defeating one of the greats in Demetrius Johnson in a very close 5-round decision. Cejudo would then follow that up by beating another great in TJ Dillashaw in just 32 seconds. And after that title defense, Cejudo went up to 135 and beat Marlon Moraes for the vacant bantamweight title. During his UFC career, he has earned 3 Performance of the Night bonuses and 1 Fight of the Night bonus. Number 6. Various sponsorships. Henry has been retired since 2020, so the sponsors have moved on to other athletes. But during his UFC run, he had plenty of them behind him, starting with boxing and the MMA gear company Everlast. Cejudo often rocked a pair of Everlast gloves during his workouts leading up to a big fight. He was also sponsored by Metro PCS and the sports nutrition company Onnit. Another one of Cejudo's sponsors was the sports drink Body Armor. But as Cejudo lines up his comeback fight, we're sure many of these and other companies will be back on Cejudo's side as his return is highly anticipated. Number 5. Fight pays. Part of the reason why Cejudo called it quits with MMA was that he was unsatisfied with his paychecks. He felt he could make bigger bucks somewhere else, but still, he did have some decent paydays. For his title defense against Dominic Cruz, Cejudo netted $350,000, while his title win against Moraes earned him about $440,000, including a $50,000 bonus. He made the same amount against TJ Dillashaw, a fight that only lasted 32 seconds. But for his first ever title win against Mighty Mouse, Cejudo earned $100,000 and then a $50,000 Fight of the Night bonus. Before these title fights, Cejudo made somewhere between $50,000 to $95,000 a fight, so we could see a case of why he was so disgruntled, especially considering that he was an Olympic gold medalist too. Number 4. Social media presence. Since retiring, Cejudo has gone all in on his social media, which has kept him and his name relevant in MMA circles these past 2 years. On Instagram, Cejudo has amassed over 755,000 followers. The following has been increasing lately as Henry is one of the most entertaining MMA people on social media. He is always breaking down fights and making callouts on his Instagram and Twitter. And speaking of Twitter, there Cejudo has over 320,000 followers because of his insight and cringy jokes. His newest venture has been in the YouTube space as an analyst and breaking down the latest news in the MMA world. There he has a following of nearly 50,000 with a total of over 12 million combined views. He is a unique voice in the fight breakdown scene as he puts his high fight IQ on display each time. Number 3. His relationships. Before his recent couple of relationships, his rivals in MMA always teased him about being single. Cejudo played along with that joke, even referring to his previous partner as his sister. Oddly enough, he recently got married to his longtime girlfriend Carolina, and the couple welcomed their first daughter, America, late last year. Number 2. King of Cringe. Henry Cejudo goes by the nickname Triple C, but another nickname has often followed him around: the King of Cringe. Now this was started by one of his earlier opponents after Henry tried his best to promote his fights similar to Conor McGregor, but instead of that natural charisma, Henry displayed some cringe behavior with his callouts and pre-fight antics. However, Cejudo leaned into the bit and proudly donned the King of Cringe gimmick, even buying a crown for himself. The nickname did win him some fans as they embraced Henry's natural personality, and after you get over a few of the cringe remarks, you do appreciate his humor and one-liners. Number 1. His net worth. When it comes to net worth, it can be a bit tricky to sum it up nicely because we don't know exactly what Cejudo has been up to these past 2 years. His initial retirement speech mentioned that he would be going into the real estate world, but it's not known what deals he has made in that sector. As far as his fight and sponsors go, along with the addition of his social media, we would assume that he has a net worth of around $2 million. Now this number could take a significant jump if Cejudo can make a successful comeback and capture the UFC gold yet again. So if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, you just watched the lifestyle and net worth of Triple C Henry Cejudo. We'll see you next time.